up, guys? Welcome to Chef Talk. I'm your host, Shanice, and on today's episode of Chef Talk, you guys are in for a special treat. I have a good friend of mine all the way from back east. Yes, I know, episode number 3, third person from the East Coast, but listen, it's okay. You guys are gonna be okay. So, this good friend of mine, he's an amazing photographer, great cook, and a producer. Taya! Hi! How are you?
I'm great.
Oh my gosh, I've been looking forward to this for like the past forever. Basically, that's all I can say. How are you doing?
Doing great.
I know it's raining outside.
Yeah, unfortunately it's been raining for like the last, almost like 2 weeks now in LA. So it's kind of like draining.
It's okay.
From the East Coast, you're expecting to be in LA for it to be like sunshine all the time.
Yes, but it's raining. But it's okay because we're going to make up with that rain with some good food.
Some good food.
Some good food. Some great food.
Yeah.
So please do tell us, what is it that you're going to be making today?
I've been, for me, because actually we just came back from Nigeria a couple of weeks ago after the holidays. So, back home, when I'm here in LA, I'm always like thinking of like comfort food, like tapping back into like my Nigerian roots. So today we're making efo.
Efo.
Yeah, efo. Efo. So it's like a traditional Nigerian dish. If you really see it, it's more of like sauteed spinach. But that's what we're gonna make today. I'm excited about this because it's with the weather, it's cold. So we're gonna make it slightly spicy, so it's nice and warm on the inside. Of course, the fact that it's cold outside.
Okay.
Something that's like delicious.
Okay.
And of course, we're gonna serve it with rice because that's how we typically like eat it at home back in Nigeria. So,
Efo.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am very excited to try this. Listen, let me tell you something. This is my first time.
Okay.
Yes, this is my first time trying African food. I'm not gonna sit here. Yes, so I'm very excited. So we're in for a treat, like I said, so let's get started. So
we're gonna throw all this in the blender and add in just a little bit of like chicken stock if you want, or you can also add in like water into it. And then once that's all blended up together, we're just gonna set it aside and then go into the next steps.
Okay. I would like.
Oh no! Look at me making a mess.
Okay.
But it's all good though.
Okay, can I put the onion in there?
Oh yeah, go ahead and throw the
All
onions
right.
in there.
Wait, do we just put it in now?
Oh yeah, just throw it in because everything's literally going in here.
Okay, right. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah. So usually when I'm making like certain Nigerian dishes, I was gonna like call like my siblings, like my sisters, or I'll call my mom like, hey mom, how do you make that again?
You know what? I do the same thing. So I be calling my mom like, hey,
I need your help.
What do we put in this?
Back up, help me out.
Right.
So we're just gonna add a little bit of chicken stock in here.
A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Like a splash.
Splash. And sorry guys, I don't measure because I've cooked for so long now that sometimes for me I just like go into it. Because if you think about it, like when your mom's cooking and your grandma's cooking, they never tell you the ingredients. Not the ingredients, the
measurements.
The measurements.
Yes.
So you just add this and you add that and you do this and that and then boom, it's done. You're like, wow, okay. What's the measurements again? And it still happens to this day too. Like when I call my mom, like, what's the measurement? She'd be like, I don't know, I just throw it in. I'm like,
right.
It's perfect.
But all we know is that it tastes very good.
It tastes delicious.
And everything is just amazing.
That's it. Step 1 is complete.
So
once
like
you're done with this,
smoothie from this morning.
Take a sip.
I want to take a sip. Okay.
It's like nah.
All right.
So we just pretty much like set this aside. For
okay.
The time being.
Okay. So we added some salt now.
You don't want no bland.
You don't want no bland.
You don't want no bland chicken. You know what I mean? I like my food flavored.
Flavor.
So we're just gonna throw that in there. A little black pepper.
Okay, so salt, some black pepper on the chicken. Make sure you dice the chicken up, you know what I'm saying?
So what we're gonna do now is just pretty much get the stove.
Okay.
So we're just gonna start we're gonna bring the chicken over.
Right.
Just put this baby in there. There we go. Like that. Because once this is all done, what we're gonna do is throw it into the F4 once all that's like good to go.
Okay.
Ready. Yeah. So while this is cooking, we could kind of like move on to like the next process.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we're gonna pretty much start the process of actually making the effo.
The effo.
So yeah, the first thing you're gonna do is you got some palm oil.
Palm oil.
Yep. You got some onions that you're gonna use, and then you have your tomato paste. We're gonna bring that over to this corner here. Over this, so we don't burn the chicken.
Burn it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
All right.
Throw that in there. Baby. Just dice that in there. Let this baby cook.
Okay.
You should start hearing that sizzling very soon.
Sizzle.
All right, so
I
this is cooking up now.
Okay.
So we're gonna add in the tomato paste in here.
We're adding tomato paste.
Yeah, throw some tomato paste in there.
Okay.
So now what you're doing is you're just like frying this. You know?
Frying this.
Yeah, you're frying this bad boy right here.
Okay.
This is,
What memory? Like, let's give us a quick memory where you came. I don't know. You tell us.
Okay,
I want to say you came home from school, but
so-
I don't want to say school.
So before we get into that though, so this is now like starting to like blend up to like how I really want it to.
Okay.
So it's now the only thing that I'm about to do now is just add in the puree into this.
Okay.
And then just let that simmer and kind of like just cook that together for a little bit. And now I'm gonna throw in my blend. Actually, no, during this process here, I'm gonna spice it.
No problem.
All right. So first ingredient that we're gonna throw in this, I'm not gonna overwhelm you too much with too much spice.
Okay.
So we're gonna throw in a little bit of red pepper.
Little bit.
A little pinch, you know. Boop. Just a little pinch.
Just a little pinch.
Because the key thing about cooking too, it's better to under season than over season. Because when you over season,
You can't fix it.
You can't fix it.
Yes.
When you're under season, you can add and build on top of that. This is what we call magi. We call this magi back at home. So magi is chicken bouillon. You can find this like at a Hispanic store as well too. If you don't have like an African store, you can find this like a Hispanic like grocery store.
Yes.
They always have this. So that's how I can connect with my Spanish folks. You know, with my Spanish people, I can connect with y'all because we be using the same thing.
We do. Chicken bouillon. Yes. Yes.
So we're gonna add this in there because this gives it like the nice Nigerian flavors that we want in there.
Wow. This is so interesting.
And
Okay.
then we're gonna add in a little bit of salt,
Some salt.
some taste. Boop. A little bit. Throw a little extra.
Yeah,
a little extra.
Ah.
A little razzle dazzle. Flavor.
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 That flavor.
There we go. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We love it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You can try it.
All right.
But, I mean, you could taste it now, but of course I'm gonna let it cook a little bit more so you could really eliminate that tomato taste in there. But you could try it though.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's hot.
It's hot. Be careful.
I don't want to burn my hand.
Yeah, that's the reason why you put it on your palm so it can cool down. Because when you eat it straight from the spoon or whatever, it's gonna burn you. You know? Go ahead, go ahead.
Mmm. Oh, that's good. Oh, yeah.
So now all we're doing is, so our tomato stew is ready. So now you want to add in your spinach. So
Okay.
we're throwing all our spinach in there.
Oh, it's so green. It's so green and so red. I love the rich colors.
Like Christmas colors.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna
Okay.
actually set this over here. Throw this in the sink.
Throw it in the sink.
Throw it in the sink.
Throw it in the sink.
So now, we're just literally just gonna cook this inside of this. We're gonna add in some more greens.
Together.
We're gonna add in, not greens, we're gonna add in some more vegetables.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms. Throw that in there.
Uh-huh.
That's right there.
And then we give it a little good stir. I want to stir it. Can I stir?
So
Okay.
now you're just putting your F4 on top of the rice right here. Trying to make it look as pretty as possible. You know, you got your chicken. Put some more sauce on there for you. There we go. So, you do the same thing there.
Over here.
Masterpiece right there.
Masterpiece. Ooh, what kind of chicken?
Chicken on top of it. We can do the same thing over here on this side. Put a little bit of chicken. My mouth's like watering right now. Just thinking about it. Or you can eat the F4 by itself with like plantains, or you can literally eat F4 with like anything really for the most part. But yeah, so this is how you make it. It's an easy process. Well, I say it's easy because I know how to make it, but it's something that could be done. That doesn't take too long, too much of your time, because this is a dish you can literally make in like 30 minutes or so. You know, maybe not 30 minutes, but when you get good at it, you can make it 30 minutes. But
Okay.
yeah, so this is it. So I'm gonna let you do the honor. I'm gonna let you do the
honors
the
of
honor
tasting
of
it.
the
Okay, what should
tasting.
they? We got like a fork and a spoon and a fork.
I mean, you can use a fork.
I love a spoon though.
I'm a spoon kind of person.
You
too.
a spoon person?
I'm a spoon person.
Listen. That
Yeah.
means that
I'll let you do the
you gonna
honor.
hold the fork.
Hold the fork.
Alright.
Dum, dum, dum.
Da-da-da.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum.
Moment of truth.
Alright, here
So
we
you
go.
get it with the rice. You gotta get it with the rice.
I gotta get the chicken.
Yeah, you can break the chicken. You're gonna break it.
Alright.
Let's get a little piece of chicken.
Chicken. I'm breaking it in half.
Put some strength in it. Yeah, you
Put
gotta break it in
that
half.
shit.
You gotta break it a little
Alright.
more. Mix it together.
You hear that sound? That's the shrimp. That's the shrimp.
So you go like that, right?
I'm
Mix it together.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
gotta
now I'm
mix
doing
it.
it.
You gotta
Now I'm
mix
doing it
it.
wrong. Okay, you gotta mix it. I'm mixing.
But before we eat, we gotta say a little prayer.
Alright. Dear God.
Thank you, Lord, for this meal. Let this food be a blessing to our minds, bodies, souls, spirit, Jesus.
Amen.
Amen. All right.
Amen.
Come on,
Okay.
Grab it.
Alright.
Did you get some rice in there?
This is rice, yes.
Yeah, okay. Honors, boom, boom. Shabam. I see.
Okay. Okay. This is good.
Get the rice in there.
Yeah.
When they go, that's when you know your food hit. Okay, you got a mouthful. Yep. You gotta get the green.
I would tell you guys all the things that I taste. But it's so good. Alright. I taste the spinach. I taste the rice. I taste the spice. I taste it. But see, the spice is not like, oh my God, I'm dying. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a, taste it,
like a,
but it's not like, oh, I need some water.
It's not like killing you.
No. It's very good.
good.
It's good.
Flavor is there.
It's so flavorful. Okay. And I definitely taste like the richness in the tomato sauce.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So the tomato sauce and the spinach and the combination, like it just like blends together and oh my God. All right guys. Oh my gosh. So I tasted Efo
There you go.
for the first time, and let me tell you guys, it was rich in flavor. You definitely can taste the spices that was incorporated inside of the dish. You can taste the cayenne pepper, the red pepper flakes, the tomato sauce, everything was just like married together and it created this rich, flavorful taste. On top of the rice, it just was amazing. So I definitely, if you ever are interested in like making African dishes or you ever go to Nigeria, please do ask about the Efo.
Yeah.
Listen, that was amazing.
Yeah.
That was really amazing. And thank you, Tayo, for introducing that to me and to us, whoever else who has not experienced African food. That's a very great way to dip your toe. Dip your toe into it. He said that like when he was, it brought up like so many memories for you, right?
Yeah. It's like, it makes me think back of just like being at home, not just saying only being at home in Nigeria, but also being at home back in Jersey. My parents live, my mom cooks. It's like, oh man, you smell everything. So it's good to be able to make your comfort food that you know, stuff that makes you happy.
Yes.
So yeah.
Okay. And speaking of Jersey, he came all the way from New Jersey to LA. So I've been dying to ask you this question. What made you move from New Jersey to LA?
I mean, you get to a point, you just kind of get to a point where you just want something different, right? It wasn't like anything that's like, oh, I want to move because I want to. It's just more so like that you lived. At that time, I'd lived on the East Coast for so long that as an adult and looking at like where I was trying to go with my career as well, it was like, okay, California is where I want to be. LA is where I want to be. Creating, photography, the whole 9 yards, like companies you want to work for, they all were in LA. So and I remember the first time I came to LA, I fell in love with it. It's like, what? Beach? The beach is right there? What? The palm trees? The weather?
Yes, palm trees.
I mean,
everywhere.
Everywhere. But I mean, the weather, of course, has changed in the last, years because of global warming. But at that time when I first came to LA, it was December. And I remember coming here and I was like, wait, what? I could wear shorts in December?
There's no snow?
There's no snow? What? I would never forget. I was at the beach because I was like about to catch my flight back. I was catching a red-eye flight back. And I remember going to Venice Beach and seeing the sunset in December at Venice Beach with shorts on. Literally like, when the sky turns like red and it's gorgeous? Imagine being there at the beach watching that. And you really see the sun set. I was like, yeah, that's the code. That's the time to pack your bags, kid. Come on over.
Come on.
So it was really just a career decision, really, and just also in terms of just wanting to be somewhere different. I lived in New York and Jersey for so long, the Northeast, and I was like, all right, I think the West Side is my next move.
The West Side is the best side. That's
no,
what
literally it is. It literally is. The West Side is the best side. Unfortunately, I love the East Coast. I love it. I'm always gonna be grateful for New York, for Jersey, DC, Philly, the whole 9 yards. But I mean, it also depends on what you want, right? In terms of the quality of living, where you have access to so much. Like you could go hike. You could have all 4 seasons in one day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
I could start my morning snowboard. I could go to the desert, go ATV riding, get the summer, and I could go to the beach by the sunset and catch a little bit of spring/fall in the mixture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where you're gonna move.
Okay. Yeah. So I love that. So you say, okay, this is a good career choice.
Yeah.
You love the switch up of the weather and things of that nature. Okay, so please look. So guys, when I met him, he was a photographer back in New Jersey. Then he came to LA, and I guess you were still doing photography, but when I checked back in with him now, he's like a whole dinner with Tayo, and he's a chef, and he's cooking, and he's a food blogger, and I'm just like, so please do tell us about Dinner with Tayo.
All right, Dinner with Tayo is something. It's literally a brand. It's like the cooking business. It's actually now a business now. I finally registered as an
LLC.
As an LLC.
Okay.
Which is pretty dope.
Okay.
Big accomplishment.
Woo!
But nah. So it's literally like my food blog that I've been running, food entity that I've been running for the last, I would say over 7 years now.
7 years.
So that's my food blog. That's like my brand. From the dinners that I curate to when I travel, the food stuff that I write about goes on the food blog. The recipes that I develop on the food blog. So Dinner with Tayo is literally a whole brand in its own entity of its own. So it really all started off just me developing recipes and kind of uploading it up on my food blog, but now I've turned it it's turned into a full media outlet. So now I do restaurant reviews on there. I do travel. I document my food traveling content on there as well too. So when you go on the site itself, you literally get the full package. You can find your recipes on there. You can find top restaurants you want to go out to dine, and it's not even necessarily it's just me taking pictures of the restaurant. my thing about the thing for me is about taking people on a journey. So like I write about the food, I write about the experience, the staff, like I capture details of the restaurants to the food. So when you read whatever article that I write on there, it's like you feel like you're immersed in there. It feels like you're there. And I also tie that in with like the traveling elements of it too. Because my biggest thing for me is to take people on a journey, on an experience visually. So when they look at it, it's like, oh shit, I feel like I'm there. I feel like I'm part of this.
Right.
So that's what dinner with Tayo is all about.
Dinner with Tayo.
It's not just only dinner food. I like breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks.
Everything that you want. Listen, you better go to what's the website? Where can we find
dinnerwithtayo.com.
Dinnerwithtayo.com. So oh my gosh, I had this question. I'm like losing my train of thought because it's like oh my god. Okay. Dang, I kind of lost it. So when I remember it, I'm gonna circle back around to it. So if I just like pause and like stop you, I'm like, oh, I remembered. Okay, so I see that, I see that you travel so much. You recently just came back from Nigeria, right? So I would love to know, or we would love to know, what are the top 3 countries that you have been to with like the best food? And those 3 countries, what are the dishes that you recommend?
Oh, wow. Okay, so dishes might be tricky, but country-wise.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Italy is definitely hands down up there.
Italy.
Oh my God. Pasta, pizza. Oh my God. For days. Like, it was endless. Like, literally.
Is it different from the US?
Oh, it's better. 10 times better. It's better, it's fresher. It's just like the whole 9 yards. It's like nothing beats that.
Okay, so we got Italy with the pasta and the pizza.
Pasta and pizza.
Okay. Number 2. Come on.
Okay, I'll say Argentina.
Argentina
was fire. Like,
fire.
When it comes to like steak.
Ooh, Wes, you know you love your good steak.
I would say like top tier steak that you would pay hundreds of dollars for in America. You go to Argentina, you're gonna pay like $10 for. And I'm talking about like top tier, like Michelin star quality steak.
Ooh, all right. Okay.
So Argentina was fire.
Okay. Number 3. We're in numero 3.
Wow.
Wow, come on, don't get stuffed down.
Germany.
Germany?
Unexpectedly.
All right, so he's...
Germany was... Can I do one more after that? Let me do one more.
All right, we're going to give like an extra one. We're gonna do
Germany, but Germany was cool.
Germany?
It was underrated. Like, I didn't even think about that Germany would have such good food, but I was highly impressed. But I would say Cuba. Cubans. I know certain people said that they didn't have a good experience with food in Cuba, but Cuban food, it's not American Cuban food, but the quality of food that I had there.
Quality.
Lobster, oh my God. Seafood. But I could go
the paella.
Oh my God, it was delicious. But I could go for days in terms of like countries and food-wise, but I'd say like Italy is hands down number 1. Like, I love it.
So let me break it back down for you guys. He said Italy, Argentina, Germany, and the extra star, Cuba. Yes. Okay. All right. Listen, I'm gonna try all those places, but definitely when I go to Italy, I gotta get that pasta.
Italy, you gotta experience this.
The pasta and the pizza. What about the wine? Was the wine good?
The wine was good.
The wine was good. The wine was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tuscany, you go to Tuscany, you're fine. You got some good quality wine.
Okay. So like, what is your vision for Dinner with Tayo? Like, what's your vision?
The vision really is to make it like a ongoing global food outlet. You know, where you literally go for resources for either dishes you want to create at home, for a restaurant that you want to try out in different cities, traveling wise, like countries you go to, you want to like see what country. Okay, I'm going to this country this year. Like, where can I go out to eat and stuff like that. But my goal and my purpose is to continue to tell storytelling content, and telling storytelling content through food is to really create. For me, really, my passion relies with this is to use it as an avenue to create opportunities for other culinary creators that's out there. Not just only creators, but just chefs. Because for me, I was able to really discover, figure out a way to really build an entity around it and make revenue off of it, and also tapping into major brands and stuff, brands, and get opportunity on mainstream media. So for me, it's just like, there's so many talented chefs that are out there, but they just don't know how to get their exposure that they need. So for me now, it's kind of like in that mindset of like, yo, how can I use the skill sets that I have, what I've been able to create, to help other chefs that are out there. Also, black chefs at that. Sorry, my black people come first. But I don't like to discriminate. Like, you know, for me being, you know, the religious man that I am, you know, it's not just about one entity, one demographic, or one race alone. I always look at like every race in general. It's like, okay, how can I help somebody? You know, regardless of who you are, where you're from, your backgrounds, what capacity it is. It's like, okay, what do you need help with, and how can I help you with that? So that's really like the thing, is to really take people on a journey with the food, but also as I'm doing that for myself and my brand, also create an avenue to help and uplift other chefs
I
and
love
people
that.
who are creators as well too.
I love that so much. Okay, so I have one more question. This is like always my favorite question, but before I ask that question, I just wanted to know, like, how did you get started with like Dinner with Taya? Like, how did that even come about? Like, how was that created?
It's really just it was my love for photography and my love for cooking, bringing the two together.
Okay.
I think that's like the biggest thing, is really just bringing those two brands together, right? It's like naturally you have the eye for photography, and being able to incorporate that detailed elements into like the food and that storytelling element. Because when I create food, it's like I want to take you on a journey with this. Like, so being able to tell a story and visually behind it. So that's how it really came together. But the idea really came from two people, a couple people actually. Because at that time when I first started to just like cook, this is before Instagram became Instagram. This when it first was just still like
Tumblr.
It was still like old school, but I would always like take pictures of like the food that I would create, and people would always like in the comments at that time, people just would always consistently ask, "Oh, how'd you
Where
make
was the
that?"
comments at? Facebook?
Or
was it Tumblr?
No, it was Instagram. This is when Instagram first started. Instagram first started at that time. Instagram first started, and then Facebook too. People would just always ask like, "Oh, where can I find your recipe? How did you make that? How did you make that?" I didn't notice it, but my sister did. And she would always be on my ass about it. Like, yo, you need to start a food blog. You need to start a food blog. And my excuse at that time was I didn't have time. Because I was doing so much photography.
What you was doing?
I was a lot of photography. You know, being an entrepreneur at that time is like, I'm trying to
You was
figure
an
out things.
entrepreneur.
I started to make sure
from
there was
the
food on the
beginning.
table. Like,
Yeah.
freelancing, photography, freelancing. So I was always saying, and even working at the part-time working at that time was like, okay, where am I going to have time to do YouTube? When am I going to have time to write these recipes and all this stuff? But she would always be on my ass about it. And then a good friend of mine.
Shout out to his sister.
Yeah, and my friend Kiana Parks, he was always the one who would always. Remember, we're sitting at a table one day, and she came give me the idea. She was like, oh, she gave me a couple of people who were doing stuff, and she was like, oh, you should. Why don't you start, do a food blog? Here could be the name of the brand and all that stuff. And then we sat down at her dining table at that time. We were just brainstorming and talking. And literally that same night, I went home and I just sat there on my bed and I was just like, I got nothing to lose. Like, just do it.
Yeah.
I created it.
You were in LA?
I was in Jersey. I was still in Jersey.
You were still in Jersey?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I was
okay.
in Jersey.
Okay.
I was in Orange, New Jersey. I'll never forget. I was my brother in Orange, New Jersey. And I was just sitting there and I literally just went home and built the whole blog out that night. I designed the site and I was just like, all right, I've already have enough photos. Now let me just upload them and just start writing. Upload recipe. And it just grew over time. Like the traffic just blew up. And things just got bigger than what I envisioned it to. But of course, over years, you just realize what you're passionate about. So every time I would always look at how can I develop this to be better? How can I make this website look better? How can I make it easier for people to navigate through? So that's really just kind of like how it started. It's like my sister was the first one who was on my ass.
Your sister and Kiana Parks.
Yeah, Kiana. Shout out to Kiana.
That's are you guys still friends?
We're cool.
Yes,
We're cool. Kiana, I still follow her. I love her work, man. She's an awesome DJ.
Where's she at? She's in Jersey.
Jersey.
We gotta go back to New Jersey.
Yeah,
We gotta turn her one good
Kiana
time.
is. I follow her work. I follow like people that I admire, and people that I've always known from back when I lived in Jersey. I still follow them to this day. But it's just beautiful just to see people's growth and just seeing how people are just like killing it. And it's just like being able to like see where she's going and where she's at. She's blew up. Kiana's like up there. Like I feel like I literally just be saying it. I was just like, damn. Yeah, I might not say much to a lot of people, but on the back end, I'm just so grateful just to see people's evolvement and just being able to see from the back end. It's like, oh, this is beautiful.
Okay.
So yeah, so her work's great. If you guys get the chance, you need to go follow her on Instagram. She's a dope artist, like amazing artist. She's incredible.
Okay.
She's awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Kiana. I'm gonna follow her.
Yeah,
I gotta look her up.
Yeah.
All right, and this is my favorite question out of all the questions. I just think that because it's really important. I just love this question. What advice would you give to those who are like wanting to be like entrepreneurs or those who want to follow their dreams? Like,
Yeah.
what advice or words of wisdom would you give to those who are like just starting out or even those like who just wants to follow their dreams? It doesn't matter. Like
Simple. It's easy.
simple.
Does what you're trying to do, pursue, make you happy? Point blank.
Yeah.
If it doesn't make you happy, if you're chasing it for monetary purposes, don't do it. Because when the money doesn't come in, you're gonna give up easily.
Right.
That's literally like our society nowadays. We follow trends so much because we see other people making money off of it. We're like, oh, I gotta do it too because I'm gonna make money off of it. I get it, yes, everybody wants to make money, but the people who last the longest are the people who are passionate about what they do. When the passion is behind it, even when it's at rock bottom, you're still like, I'm gonna keep going, I'm gonna keep doing this, I'm gonna tweak it, I'm gonna find ways to make it better, but this is my baby. How can I make this better? So number one is be passionate about what you wanna do. Always have a backup plan.
Wait a second.
Have a backup
You
plan.
believe in A, B, C, and D?
Yeah, I
You
do. Well, but what's meant for you is meant for you, regardless of anything in life. Whatever your calling is, and if that's your calling, nothing's gonna stop you from getting into where you want to get to. It's not gonna be an easy, straight road. You're gonna have some ups, you're gonna have some downs, but at the same time, have plans where other avenues is bringing money in, just in case. Because if the one that you're passionate about ain't bringing the money in, you do it out of love because you love it, but have a resource of financial income coming in to help continue to build that baby that plant, that seed that you're watering. So be passionate about it, love it. Because for me, with Dinner with Tyler, that's me. Like, that's my calling. That's what God said, hey, this is what I want you to do. And it's like, yes, but I always have other, things that I do that helps support what I'm trying to build out as a brand. So be passionate about it, have a backup plan. Don't be afraid. Too, don't be afraid to go after what you want. Like, really, don't be afraid. People gonna say no, you gonna hear no's. Like, there's so many times I've sent out massive emails for brand partnerships because I curate dinners, like I was saying earlier. And through those dinners, it's like I always try to find brands to partner up with. Like, I'll tell them the idea, the vision, what I'm trying to do with it. Brands like, oh, unfortunately, we'll have to decline. We have to say no. And I'm like, cool, okay. I know there's gonna be a brand that's gonna say yes. When I find that brand that says yes, it's like, all right, cool, let's get the grounds rolling and keep it going. I've been saying no so many times, but my passion and love for what I'm trying to do, and when people believe in you and see what you're trying to do, dope, follow suit with you. And people who appreciate what you do, even just only from the brands, but just people in general, they'll always find ways to support you. So don't be afraid. Always follow what you're passionate about, because that's where it really lies. Passion over money. Passion over money. Don't get me wrong, you need money to survive. But passion should come first, because when money doesn't come in and you give up on that dream, then it's gonna be like, why did I just do that?
Right.
Yeah. So that's it.
I love this. I love it so much. All right, guys. Well, let me adjust my seat. Listen, we wear leather, things begin sticky and stuff. I be sticking around. Leather. All right. Well, That is all. I wish we could continue on with this conversation because I'm just I'm intrigued by it, but I know we have ran out of time, and I just appreciate you guys so much for sticking around, watching Chef Talk, listening to me and Tayo talk, watching him make his master. Okay, I'm not gonna mess the name up.
Mess it up.
I'm not gonna, oh God, just say it with me. Evo.
No.
Evo.
F4.
Oh my God, it's like Evo.
F4.
Efo. Regardless of how I said it, Efo, it's so amazing. And if you guys ever get the chance to taste this dish or have him cook it for you, you will not be disappointed. So again, thank you. This is Chef Talk. I'm your host, Shanice. This is Tayo, and thank you so much for tuning in. See you on the next episode. Bye.
Yeah. Salud. Ciao.